Welcome, everybody, to Dragon Quest FM, our first ever live episode. Live.
Yeah, like real live, like actually live. Live.
I guess for people who are listening to this later on, because this will be this week's podcast episode 2, hello from the past, but also I'm Austin.
I'm BJ.
Just in case you don't recognize our voices. And thanks to the people joining in. This is basically going to be like a normal podcast episode.
Yeah, we're going to try to, but we had the opportunity, since I'm visiting Austin and his family this week, we were able to actually set something up and be together, and rather than just be together with us, we thought we would be together with you guys as well. So we are giving this a shot. Soniku, only live and in person. Like this was, we wanted to do everything that we possibly could.
We can high five.
High five,
for real,
yeah.
Because it's live.
And we can high five you, but it's kind of different if we do that. But yeah, so we thought this would be a really fun thing. The actual podcast episode on Spotify might take a little longer to get up because we're, even though we're very smart, intelligent people, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know how to get it up there exactly right, but we will. It will be on Spotify like normal. But thank you guys for joining in. Carrie, the Cozy Queen, the bonus points, Joshua Mullins, we really appreciate y'all joining in, taking the time on your Thursday night to talk to us.
And for saying hi to us.
And for saying hi. It makes us feel better.
It's cool
really
getting to read stuff. That's a new one.
That is new. Yeah. That was my favorite thing. My old job, when I was doing it at Elegant Themes, I did a once a week live stream, and the best part of it was reading the live comments and getting to talk to the people as I was doing it.
Yeah.
Like I look forward to it every week, and so this is really awesome for me. That's something I'd like to continue doing. But yeah, so we're together. The Switch 2 has been announced, which was immediately after the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remakes were finally shown off. We have things to say about that. So we thought, like we said, we're here in person. We have things to actually talk about. And we're in Austin's house here, so there's lots of DQ stuff that we were talking about last time that we could probably show you guys at least a little bit. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Austin has the cool thing, like he went and pulled one of the things we were talking about last time.
So last time, anybody that watched the episode when we were going over merch, I just kind of like mimed holding the controller, but since we were doing this and actually have it out, this is what it looks like. This is how you hold it. Well,
that way.
This is how you hold it. The smiley face kind of looks at you when you hold it, and the buttons are here. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty comfy. Cool. You haven't held it yet.
No, I actually haven't held it yet. Like, that is actually not bad. Like, I could see myself just sitting on the couch playing with this. Like, it's not bad. And I've got tiny hands. Like, I wear, like, very small. I have tiny hands. And so for this, like, not to be absurdly bulbous, no, I could sit and play the Switch on that. Or the Switch 2, maybe, because I'm sure that our Pro controllers are still going to work with it.
They actually are.
Are they?
I saw that was confirmed today.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Because I don't care a whole lot personally about the chat that's going in it. Like, I think it's great. I want to use it. Yeah. But if I'm going to if I already have, my expensive Pro controller, I guess controllers, when you consider the slime one, I don't really care about the C button to be able, that being the only real big selling point.
There's a turbo button on it. Do you know what the turbo button does?
And on the Super Nintendo, the turbo button made it press like 3 or 4 times for one press. I don't know what the turbo button does on this one.
If anybody knows what the turbo button does, let me know, because I have literally never used it. I've used the controller a lot. Like, this is kind of our go-to around the house with me and the kids. And I've never pressed the turbo button. Maybe that's on me. But
yeah, so and the bonus points pointed out in the chat that it will work on Switch 2, which like I said, I'm stoked about. I'm really excited about it being working on Switch 2 because I'm not 100% sold on the Switch 2 yet at launch, because it is the system I've wanted for a while, but I don't know if I want to pay the price for it at launch. But I'm afraid I won't be able to get it otherwise.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way too. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys, people listening, people watching this right now, have probably been keeping up. Watched the Switch 2 Direct. I guess it was yesterday, and then there's the Nintendo Treehouse Live stuff going on. And so, because of like my day job, I've just had all of that stuff on constantly. Because BJ's down here, he's just been kind of chilling out on the couch, over beside me, listening and watching it all and everything.
Yeah, it's great just sitting on the couch on the other side while you're doing that, having a conversation, playing Marvel Snap on my phone. It's been really nice.
Yeah, and so, like, that's kind of been a conversation that he and I keep having, is that, like, we've personally been kind of, like, underwhelmed with the Switch 2 stuff, but also, that being said, it did not stop me from going into my Nintendo account and, like, getting in the queue to pre-order the Switch Mario Kart World Bundle. Like, I totally did that.
And I didn't know about this, so you guys might not know about this either, but if you're a Switch owner who has had access to the Switch Online, Nintendo Switch Online for what, you say 12 months that you had to have a subscription, or just some months?
I think it's 12 months is what it's...
That you can do. So you can get access to, you can register to pre-register for the thing, for the event, the launch. Sorry, there was an event that popped up on our screen, and I don't know what it says, but hopefully you guys can see that too. But yeah, the best part of it for me is that I've kept one of the Nintendo Switch Online memberships for a long time, just because I never canceled it, but I also like having my cloud saves. So even if I don't buy one, I signed up for it. So I don't know how much. I haven't gotten an email about doing that yet from Nintendo.
I think pre-orders, are April 9th.
April 9th?
So yeah, so I think it'll be a little while.
Yeah, so y'all go ahead and sign up for that if you're able, because I didn't find out about it until he told me. And so maybe this is you guys finding out before they send out an email to the masses, to the unwashed masses.
And so a couple of things have come up in the chat here. A couple of maybe like theories about what the turbo button does. So after this, I'm gonna go and we'll test out the turbo button, and then I will, like, I guess in a future episode, it'll be like a saga where, like, I had to, like, mime it the first episode. I showed it off for real this episode, and then, like, next week I'll be like, this is what the turbo button
actually
does.
using it.
Yeah.
I also see that the bonus point says, before we get to some of the others, that in the UK you can pre-order from retailers as usual, luckily. So for anybody who has it better than us, please go do that. And congratulations on getting yours already. That's awesome that you were able to.
I've seen here in the States that GameStop and Best Buy at least, like, have announced that their start April 9th.
Right.
And I think that may be the case for the Switch, for, like, official Nintendo stuff, but I'm not sure. Before we talk about DQ or anything too, just while we're on the subject, Carrie said that she's excited for DK, and I wanted to tell you that shortly before we recorded this, I was going through some of the other Nintendo stuff, and I saw something that you weren't around, so I couldn't be like, hey, I'm going to show you. But so first of all, there's, like, I guess, giant bananas that DK can find.
All right.
And not only does he say, "Oh, banana," when the banana is there, but he also has his tongue hanging out of his mouth, like like this, where he's just, like, really happy, like, wow, with his tongue out. And I know that you're gonna love it.
I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's DK's
tongue being out. Like, I don't care about smashing. I don't care about the platforming.
It's like $70. Here you go.
Here you go.
The tongue is worth $70.
But it is, like, that's the game I'm looking forward to. Mario Kart World, of course, but I actually love 3D platformers. So seeing the Donkey Kong be able to smash everything, and when I told Jennifer about it, we're in weird places. So when I told Jennifer about it, because she's over there, I said, you can smash pretty much everything when you saw that on the treehouse, and she was like, oh, I like to smash stuff. And, like, that's her favorite thing. She says, I want to play it for the smashy. So I think that we're going to pick up Donkey Kong very quickly after it comes out, when we get a Switch, I guess.
Yeah, and so Sonic U says DK almost likes bananas more than I do. I know we're gonna go off on tangents this entire episode, and I can't help it. But I have there's a story related to this. Okay, I used to love bananas. All right, loved bananas. And I worked for, like, this entertainment company for a number of years that my uncle and aunt owned, and we would go around to, like, schools and do different shows. And one of the shows we did was called Banana Split Show, okay? And we would make, like, a 50-foot long banana split for, like, kids and sometimes adults too. You know, we'd have
Sounds
ice cream,
amazing.
the bananas, the, like, chocolate sauce, like, all this stuff. It would have the actual. The show Banana Splits from, like, the 70s. They're like, tra la 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 la, 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. No,
I don't think I do.
Anyway, you guys can Google it. They turned it into a horror movie like a few years back. But anyway, so but it was just like a kid show. But anyway, that would play, and we'd make like giant banana splits, all of that stuff. So anyway, did that for a number of years. But the downside to that is that, like, to make a 50-foot banana split and do it right, you need a lot of bananas, right? So not only would I look like an insane person buying like 100 bananas, like I would go into like Publix or Walmart or whatever, and it's like, give me all the bananas you have. Yeah, and so anyway.
You heard we need a lot of bananas.
Yes. Some people at least know the show I'm talking about. So anyway, this story is taking way too long, but the thing is that, like, I would be driving around, sometimes doing multiple shows, and just like the smell of the bananas. And then there was like one time that a banana got left like under the back of my cousin's, the seat of my cousin's car, and we would like carpool around sometimes and stuff. And anyway, that was a very quick way of getting me like sick of bananas.
Oh, man.
And every so often I still eat a banana, just like, I don't know, just I guess for the vitamins. I don't know. But every so often I'll eat a banana, but I totally lost my taste, and it's purely because of doing all those shows.
And Jennifer eats more bananas than any person I know. Like, we order them like 6 to 12 at a time, like 10 or 12 at a time. Like, yeah. But it's only like 2 bunches that we get when we order them from like delivery or like load them into the cart at the grocery store. And I know we've seemed insane when we've been like getting ready for something else, because if we need bananas for a dish, and we also need her bananas, then we're doing like you did, just getting armfuls of bananas. And these delivery people have to be like, why are these people ordering 3 dozen bananas right now and some cat litter? It's like the weirdest orders. But yeah, so DK is gonna eat more bananas than my wife and yours.
My favorite thing, I know we're talking about bananas too long, but my favorite thing that we ever did is my cousin and I, we were doing a banana split show together, and we bought, it was like 12 gallons of ice cream. It was like 8 of those like Hershey chocolate, squirt bottles, and like sprinkles, and like all these bananas and everything. And we got through, we were doing the like checkout, and the person at the checkout is like, are you guys making a banana split? And we both just like dead-faced were like, no, why? What? No, why do you ask?
Because they thought they were being so clever.
But we were like, but then we told them, we were like, no, we're making banana splits.
Yeah, and that does sound like a nightmare. Sonaku says all those rotting bananas sound like a nightmare. I had a churro under my seat for 6 months that one of my friends put under there, and rotting churro is also not good.
Because it's just really like cinnamon terrible. And bread.
Yeah, right? But there's milk stuff in it. Like there's it actually has dough, so it rots and smells just miserable. But it was bad.
So 2 experiments for next week. 1, the turbo button. 2, we're going to have a churro and a banana rot side by side and then smell them and see which one is worse.
I don't think I'm up for that. After as someone said that it's banana trauma, after your banana trauma, my churro trauma, I don't think we can deal with that.
Yeah. So anyway, Dragon Quest, okay?
Right.
We had last week's episode done, just BT dubs, anybody watching or listening. We had last week's episode done before they revealed DQ 1 and 2 Remake during the Nintendo Direct and showed it all off. And so we didn't have time to like address that at all last week.
Yeah.
Like a couple of different people were even like, hey, aren't you guys going to do an episode about this? And it was kind of like, yes, we promise. But we haven't gotten to it yet. So I'm really excited for this game. I still maintain that the reason that it just said 2025 and didn't give us a release date is because we're getting a release date for it on probably like DQ Day, but they couldn't say it beforehand because of the Switch 2 reveal this week.
Yeah.
And so I think now that everybody knows the Switch 2 is like June 5th, I think it is.
I think that's what it said.
I think we'll probably get a release date nailed down for DQ 1 and 2. The biggest takeaway though there, of course, is the new character. You guys watching this right now, feel free to drop in like your guesses for what the new character is, or everybody seems pretty positive.
Pretty sure, yeah. I've seen. almost every guess I've seen is the Princess of Canik.
Princess of Canik, yeah,
Is-
which does make sense if you've ever played. You have not played all of
DQ2,
Dragon Quest
yeah.
2, yeah. And for people who maybe are listening or watching that haven't played it before, like there is a Princess of Canik already. In one, is it the original? In one of them, maybe both. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, in a couple of them, she asks to like join you, and it's kind of like, no, you're just a kid, and she can't go with you. So that kind of leads to the speculation. Also, the outfit, the colors scheme looks very much like Prince of Canik. I think most people who are guessing Princess of Canik are like, I think that's probably right. But I'm a little disappointed. Like hear me out. I'm positive. I'm
Right.
pretty positive that that's probably
That's what
true
it
too.
is.
But at the same time, I'm just like, wouldn't it be cool if it was just like a complete like red herring,
Uh-huh.
and everybody's like, "Oh, it's the Princess of Canik," and then it ends up being like, I don't know, like time traveling Gwaylin, or like a slime that gets turned into a girl. There's some cool possibilities, and
I
people
would love it to be Slime Girl.
yeah, and so I think it's probably Princess.
It's probably
of
the
Canik.
Princess of Canik, but I'm really, really hoping that it's some rando. Like, I hope it's just a new character that gets put in, and we can see and get to know a new character. And also, if it's the Princess of Canik, I wonder if she's as useless as the prince.
Well, see, okay, going with your like, it's just some rando idea.
I would like a rando.
that
I would
would-
like just a new character to introduce into the story.
That would be hilarious, especially if you're like at that part in the story and then the princess doesn't join you and you're just walking down the hall and this like girl is like, "Hi, I'm Regina. I'm in your party now." It's like, hey, Regina," and you have
Like, you have to take her with you at that point. There's
Yeah.
not like any way to say no. And it would be a DQ no option where we would say no,
say no.
and then it would force you into doing what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like jailing Malroth.
Yeah, and so like, but I've seen a couple of interesting theories out there because I feel like most people are like, "Oh yeah, it's
Right.
Princess of Canik," and so bonus points. I see your question there. I'll get to that in 2 seconds too because that's a great question. But like I've seen two kind of like common theories here, and one of them I think is pretty enticing is that the Princess of Canik actually dies for real and the princess takes his place, so it's a way to change up the story.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting, but also like I don't want them to mess with it that much. I know it's a remake and I know things can change, but like I'm a little hesitant there because I don't want them to mess with it that much. And for some reason, like adding on a character doesn't seem as drastic as like killing off a character and then replacing it.
Like Kiefer, my buddy.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things I had thought too. Like, because of all of the I shouldn't say animosity, jokes about the Prince of Canik, I wondered if they would just be like, here's a Canik that's worth something, and maybe like make some sort of joke about how he can't stay alive, that he's in too much danger at any given time. I thought she might be a replacement, but I actually didn't think about him dying for real.
Yeah, and so that's kind of a theory that I've seen floated around a lot. The bonus points asked, sorry, my eyes are so bad. What's the deal with the Prince being bad? I've not played DQ2, but I read online he's bad. Okay, here's the deal. I love Dragon Quest 2. Do not get me wrong. The first time I played it was kind of a nightmare because it is hard. There's the last, like, I'd say like fourth of it. The difficulty curve is just like outrageous. But the thing with the Prince of Canik is he's kind of like, you get a party in DQ2. So the hero, like Mendenhall, he's very much just like hack and slash. Got the good strong stats and defense, got strength, all that. Then you have Moonbrook, who healer, caster, that kind of stuff, and then you get Canik, who, for whatever reason, the goddess Rubis did not smile upon him and give him really great stats. And so he's kind of like, he's an interesting character because he gets some like spells, but then he can also kind of, his attacks are good too. So like I've heard some people say before that he's kind of like the like original like paladin, that you can play as in a video game. And to a certain extent that's true, but for whatever reason, his defense and his health stats are never don't ever skew as high as he's leveling. as like Moonbrook's and Mendenhall's do. And so he really does die a lot. The other kind of like side to that is there's there's a part in the game, okay, where the Prince of Canik, he gets ill in a hotel, and he's like, they never really address what it is. It's like, I don't know, ennui from traveling. But he gets in a bed, and he's like, oh, I can't move. And you and Moonbrook have to travel around and do a little side quest to get an Yggdrasil leaf and bring it back to get Canik, like, going again. And so, like, part of that theory, I guess, could be that you can instead just take his sister, or maybe you at least have a third character there.
Yeah.
But that's why you may see the joke with, like, where it's like Mendenhall, Moonbrook, and then a coffin, or there's like, I've seen some good fan art of showing them just like dragging a coffin behind them and stuff. Because he does die a lot, and I will admit that part in the story is kind of annoying, because it's just kind of like you're just trucking along playing through DQ2, and then all of a sudden Canik is like, I need to go lay down, and it's like, cool, man, we're at an inn, like,
makes
lay
sense.
down,
Yeah,
like,
sure,
whatever.
go ahead, that's your thing.
The first time I was playing it, I didn't know what to expect. I just thought it was like a normal like cutscene where like everybody's going to their different rooms. And then like the next morning you come in and he like refuses to get out of bed. It's just like, I don't want to get out of bed. And so, I mean, that is kind of an obnoxious on his part.
Right. And I haven't gotten to that part because I haven't played all the way through it for a reason that I will talk about in a second. But can you just give him an Yggdrasil leaf that you have in your inventory? Or do you have to do it for a quest?
No, there's like a whole little like kind of like side quest that you have to go on.
So it is something. It's not just getting an Yggdrasil leaf. It's getting a specific kind of special one that will heal him from the wimpy flu.
Right. And someone, I can't remember who, someone has told me in the years since then, and I've not played it. DQ2 is one of those games, like a lot of times around the holidays, I'll replay like 1, 2, 3, like I'll do the like the Switch versions, or maybe like before that I would do the mobile, but just, something that's easy that I can play, when you're visiting family, like in the holidays, and it's like there's like downtime and you're like sitting on the couch where it's like rude to leave, but like no one's really talking to you.
And everybody's on their phone, and not knowing what anybody else is really doing. So sitting and playing a video game isn't actually as rude as it seems, because there's a good chance they're doing it too.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like, you can play that on your phone during the holidays. But anyway, it's been a while since I played DQ2, like 3 years now. But somebody has told me in the time since then that there's a way around it, that you don't have to do that. And I'm not sure how valid that is, because there's like one person told me that. I don't know who it was. Maybe someone listening is that person, but somebody told me that was a thing. And I know that's a deal with Maribel in Dragon Quest VII.
That's what I was just thinking about.
So I'm not sure if somebody got like their lines crossed there, or if there is a way around it. But I've always just done that. Once they told me the workaround is that you just don't go there. You don't go to that town and stay at the inn.
Yeah, if that doesn't happen.
If you skip it, then you don't have to worry about that, because Canik never like falls asleep at the end. So I can't remember the name of the town off the top of my head, but yeah, that's apparently there is a workaround there. So I'll be interested to see if that holds up in Remake. If you can just like skip over the town and not let Canik rest at the end and just get bedridden.
Just keep him going. Like we're powering through this, buddy. My favorite DQ fan art is always of parties with Canik in it, though. I don't like the way the hero looks generally, but man, I love DQ2 fan art, because so much of it is just the heroes and then a coffin behind them, or they're working really hard and both of them are just dragging this coffin over their shoulders, because it's so heavy. It's always my favorite, because you can see the whole party anytime, but that it's such a running gag that he's dead so often that it warms my heart whenever I see that stuff.
And the thing is that I don't think of him as bad necessarily.
Right.
The part at the end is obnoxious and he dies a lot, but also he can be pretty good in combat. The first time I ever beat DQ2, I beat it with Canik dead. I was wasting too many turns trying to get him back up, and I finally, he dies in round 2, and I just let him be dead and let Mendenhall and Moonbrook. Just
it
like,
would probably be easier than dealing with the spending the actions. I say actions like it's D&D. Spending your actions and resources to do it. To resurrect him. And with DQ 1 and 2 being released and the HD 2D remake finally showing, I don't hate the hero in 2's outfit. Like, I like the sprite that they used for him. I don't know what it was, but when I was watching this and I wanted to get on camera and everybody gets to see your live reaction of what, okay. but really, I liked the look of the sprite that they used on 2. Like, I was like, oh, they made you not look like a total goob. And so I've got to say, like, it's not as ugly walking around in that one. And I thought they looked really good. I'm really excited to see them anyway, obviously. But I was really amazed that the sprite that they used, I don't know if it's because it's taller and it looks like he's not so dumpy with a little like toad hat.
But you don't like the art that's on the Super Famicom.
I don't either. Yeah, I don't like the way the like, what are they, the straps and everything fly around. I don't know. I hate him the way he looks generally, but the sprites, Sonicu is the same way, that it looks good in that one. So I'm really hoping that continuing as I see more of it, that it doesn't change my mind. But I'm really looking forward to playing it and seeing if the part where you find the thing in the ship is as annoying in the HD 2D remake as it is in the mobile one, where you almost gave up on all of Dragon Quest because of that.
Not all of Dragon Quest, but I did give up. I almost quit DQ2, and then I was like, nope, I vowed to beat them all in a year, so I gotta do it. But yeah, so there was something I was gonna say about DQ2. Oh yeah, so we know that there's a new playable character in DQ2. The DQ3 remake had all the cool monster stuff that I talked about loving so much. So really, I don't know if nervous is the right word, but I'm curious because they haven't really shown anything for 1 yet.
Not much.
And I'm like, I'm gonna feel bad if 1 gets totally shafted. If they're giving a new character in 2, and then 3 had the cool monster wrangling stuff, and then 1 is kind of just like a remake of the original game. Because I adore 1, and I mean it really is. It's one of those games that I can beat in about 4 hours now, and I know where everything is, and I'm hopeful that they add stuff to the 1 part of that remake that kind of expands it out.
Yeah. Because
of how fast, and that was the thing with 3 that I appreciate, is that they did the old switcheroo on the locations of some things that made it a little bit difficult, that even if you played that game 300 times, you go in and you're like, oh, I know where this is, and then you go there and it's like, psych, it's not there.
Yeah.
And so I would kind of like for them to do that with 1, where they don't necessarily have to psych me out or anything, but it'd be cool to have them add a little bit of content, because it is such a short game that I'm like, if it's just the same game again, I'm going to blow through that so fast and then be really bummed afterwards.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's a 1 and 2 together, is that 1 doesn't get any extra stuff, and 2 is the one they spend all the time on, with it being a longer game. What I was thinking, if they added anything to it, I kind of expected them to add a party. That you would recruit a party at some point in it, after the Green Dragon, maybe.
Gwalen joins your party?
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Because it's the only one where you're just the hero by default. This is what you're, that's all you can play as. Yeah. Whereas in DQ9 and DQ3, you don't have to have a party. You can just go solo. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. You can go solo, but not have to. But DQ1, I expect them to, I'm hoping, what I expect to be the extras is you actually get a separate person in your party, or people that you can recruit.
Yeah, I think letting Gwalen be in your party after the Green Dragon section would be cool. I also think, they already have a monster wrangling system that's really good from 3 that they could implement in there. And
easily. And
it could kind of make DQ, but then at that point it's kind of if you can't have a whole party, then DQ1 is essentially just DQ5. And so it's does that detract from DQ1 at that point with it? Because that's kind of a thing that makes DQ1, I think, feel so unique, is that it is just one person. You only have to worry about armor of one person. You only have to worry about keeping alive one person. And so, I could see the party angle, but like personally, I think I would prefer it to still just be one, because
Yeah.
that's kind of like that's what I really like about DQ1 is
Yeah.
that it's just me. Like I've got the cool like armor, and I go out and I save the day, and I don't have to worry about buying up armor and equipment for 3 other people or anything like that. It's just maybe that's selfish. Maybe I'm just
Maybe you're selfish.
but I like that it's just one person.
No, I'm the same way. My least favorite part of any JRPG or any RPG in general is equipping the secondary characters, and more than that, the characters I don't like. The characters in the party, if I have to keep everybody equipped and it's taking my resources that I want to spend on the hero and the characters I like, just to make sure that these tertiary characters can play and so I keep going in the party, I don't want to do that. Like, that's the part that irritates me. So you're right. I love that part about DQ1, that you do just have to worry about the hero. But now that you mention all of that, like, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what DQ1 is, if it is a super short one like that.
I kind of assume that they won't mess with them too much because of them being together. Like DQ3 Remake on its own, I think is probably a 20 to 30 hour game. Again, DQ3 is one of those games, it's like it skews because I played it so much, but like the actual remake itself, I think it was like 20 some odd hours is what it took me. I can't really remember now, but the idea there is that I think DQ1 and 2 will probably target around that same, because if they keep their originals, it's like 1 is probably going to be 4 or 5, well, reasonably, let's say 6 to 8 if it's your first time playing it, and then you have DQ2 that's maybe 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours. So the two of those together, just as they are already, it's kind of a 25 to 30 hour, RPG. So,
and they can take longer than that if you're going to explore the entire world, do basically every kind of side quest, and don't know where you're going. Because one thing that they've done in 3 is make it a little easier to find where you need to go, with the journal and recording hints where you need to go. But 1 and 2, you don't always know where you're going to be going. That it's not always clear.
Well, 3's not either, especially once it opens up for the orbs.
Yeah.
But have you ever found your Switch?
No.
It just hit me that you hadn't finished beating 3 because you couldn't find your Switch. Not even when y'all were packing, huh?
Mm-mm.
Man.
No, I haven't found it yet.
All right. I just realized that you didn't bring it with you, and
Nope.
after the long car ride, I was like, if you'd found it, you would have brought your Switch to play it in the car.
Yep. I would have. Yep, I certainly would have. But no, I haven't. But no, what I was meaning, like, even with finding the orbs and everything, there's that you press, I think, minus or plus or whatever, and it records the dialogue that somebody told you, and you can go back and look. So the original ones didn't have that. So if you didn't catch a line of dialogue or something, or even notice it and forget it, you could get lost more easily. Where at least in 3, there's something to help you remember where you're going a lot more.
Yes, the case of the missing Switch. It is. That's one that not even the Questy boys can solve.
I'll find it eventually. It has to be in my house because I had it after Christmas.
I need to go to your house. And
you do. You absolutely do.
There's this kind of running joke in my house with my kids and like Grace, my wife, that I know where everything is, and my kids will come to me and they'll say, "Since you know where everything is, can you tell me where blah 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 is?" And most of the time, I do know where stuff is, and if I don't, I use like my Sherlock Holmes like sense of detection to be like, "You last used it here, so it must be under the couch."
Yeah, and so, I'm that way at home too. I'm the one who finds all of Jennifer's stuff when it's gone, like remembers where she put everything. But somehow the Switch has completely eluded me. I do not know where I've put this, and I don't think my wife knows that the Switch is missing right now. She hasn't been wanting to play anything on it anyway, but lately. But yeah, it's I don't think I told her that the Switch is missing. But yeah, we'll have to. I'm gonna have to tear my room apart, my office apart, to because that's where I had it. Because at one point we were recording and talking about things, and I had it on my desk, like beside me over here on the other side of my computer, and it's nowhere to be found in there. And I don't know what happened to it. It's not in its dock behind the TV. It's not in any of the drawers around me. that I found. Like, I've got little rollouts and stuff behind me. Nothing, y'all. Nothing. It's
That's true. $40 for the Switch too. Yeah, you're not gonna be losing that.
It's true. I will have to be treated like a 7-year-old and not be allowed to take the Switch 2 out of the living room.
I wonder. Just me, like, just, free thinking here. I wonder. So Nintendo has that new app, right? That like shares news, and you can get there's like GPS and Breath of the Wild and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder how hard it would be for them to just have a Find My Switch kind of part of that
app.
That
would be awesome.
Where it's like you pull the app up on your phone and you just press it. I mean,
provided it's not dead, mine would surely be dead by now. But
yeah, but like for the Switch 2, like I wonder how hard that would. Put a rope on it, yes, and tie it to your belt. That is probably
that would be the best thing for me if I had just a holster for it. Like, man, I know where my 3DS is. I know where my Vita is. I know where my Switch Lite is, y'all. But I don't know where the Switch with the DQ3 game card is on it.
I love that the chat is just people suggesting ways for you to remember how to find your Switch. You're a grown man, and all of these people, myself included, we're all just trying to offer you advice on how to keep up with a Switch.
Put an Apple AirTag on it. Get a magnifying glass and retrace all my steps. Yeah. Like, it is. I don't know, you guys. Like, this one is beyond me at this point. I'll find it eventually. But the AirTag is something that would be a really good idea to do on a Switch. You guys haven't had to do that on anything, have you? Like, for with this many, as the girls and everything losing anything around here?
No. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I guess it's old school. I've never even thought about like AirTag and everything, where it's just kind of like if something gets lost, it's like, well, it's around here somewhere. And, I mean, a lot of times I can find it, but, like, the kids lost their Switch for the better part of a year, and I found it eventually, but it did take me, like, 8 months. Like, that was a very long case to solve, but I did finally,
I'm 42 years old, and when they lost it, they were 5. I would just like to put the this in context. Like, I'm 37 years old. I'm 37 years older than they were when they lost their Switch for a year. So I think that this is, I think this is one of my proudest moments. But yeah, that's. I would not. Carrie said maybe your wife took it and is waiting to see how long till. How long? Man, I can't talk on the podcast. See how long till I say something, and I wouldn't put it past her.
Have you asked her if she knows where it is?
Because I didn't want to tell her I lost the Switch.
Okay, after we record this, Jennifer, his wife, is down here too. I'm just gonna go upstairs and ask her. Hey, do you know where the Switch is?
Hey, did you know BJ lost the Switch for the last 4 months?
Yeah. So next week we're gonna have some updates. Turbo button and find out what Jennifer said about your Switch. And also, if we're feeling brave, maybe banana churro experience. The thing is I don't want to buy a churro just to watch it rot.
I don't want to. I would eat it. Yeah, I know, right?
It's like I'm spending money on a churro. It seems like a waste of.
I love churros. I don't want to insult the churros like that. They're so good. Also, I love churros. I just want to tell everybody that I just love churros.
So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us today.
This has been lovely, guys.
This was a lot of fun. Hopefully, even after BJ goes back home, we can find some time to just like live stream and sit and hang out. And I don't know, just chill out with people. Thank you guys for chatting in here with us and everything.
It's lovely.
For people listening to this episode later on or watching it later on, thanks for hanging out with us at a later time. We'll try to do some more live episodes soon because this was so fun. Remember, you can chat with us over on Twitter and Blue Sky at DragonQuestFM and at DragonQuest.fm when it's Blue Sky.
Yep.
And I'm Dragon Quaston at those places.
And I'm BJK Games on Twitter, which I'm looking at every once in a while now, maybe. I don't know. But mostly on bjkgames.com on Blue Sky. And we're also open on Patreon if you guys would like to support us. I don't know why I said open on Patreon. It's like we're open for business on Patreon. If you guys would like to just head on over to patreon.com/DragonQuestFM and support the podcast and let us keep doing what we do. Carrie says, before we go, I want to watch you two play DQ live together. That would be cool. We should try to figure out a way.
So, yeah. So, first of all, thank you guys for saying all these nice things.
Yes, wonderful.
We really appreciate all of y'all. But I do want to do that sometime, have us play DQ together. Right now, we're playing Split Fiction together, and we've been talking about trying to find a way to, like, stream that. Because it's been really silly, the two of us trying to do Split Fiction.
It's great. Like, if y'all haven't played this game, I've only played it down here with him. It's really good. Like, you do have to have two people. Like, there's no single player option, but definitely worth it if you like doing that kind of thing. I'm gonna go home and play. We have Brothers and It Takes Two on PS5, so I'm gonna try to get Jennifer to play some of those with me at home. But yeah, thank you guys for the wonderfully nice things. It's been wonderful talking to you guys, and I'm gonna do my very best to try to do some streams in the upcoming weeks around lunchtime is my idea. I don't know how many or when, but I'm gonna try to get this set up to stream a couple of things and give it a shot. So if you have a lunch break that you would like to spend with me instead of eating a burrito alone in your car, or you can eat a burrito alone in your car and watch me at the same time, that's fine too. I'm not going to judge you because I've eaten burritos alone in my car plenty of times. Then we'll do that.
Last thing before we leave. You're talking about burritos in your car. I want to tell everybody the way. Okay, check this out. BJ gives me a hard time about this. My wife gives me a hard time about this. We were actually talking about this 2 days ago, which is why it's fresh on my mind. I love Taco Bell, okay? I think people probably know that about me. I think I've brought it up on the show before. Taco Bell, if you're listening, sponsor, like, we'll work for burritos. Anyway, when I was in college, I would not always, eat all the Taco Bell that I'd ordered. So the next day when I would go to class, I would bring my burrito with me and sit it on the dashboard of my car, go to class, and then when I came out of class, the burrito would be nice and hot for me on the dashboard, which BJ, my wife, probably most people would say is disgusting. I always tell my wife that the sun is God's oven, and that it's just it's natural heat, right?
Yeah, I mean.
So anyway, I never got food poisoning though. But anyway, there's a final story for everybody to just kind of take home.
Well, also, I just go along with that. Like he did it with burritos. You can do that with Quest protein cookies. Or Quest bars, that I would go out for a run, leave a Quest bar in its package, sealed still, on the dashboard where the sun would beat down on it. And when I came back, I would have a nice baked cookie or a brownie bar on the thing. And somebody told me about that online, and it really does. It really works. It changes the texture and the taste a little bit. It's good. It's good. So, I mean, I will judge you because it's a burrito that it does that too, but it was
it's the bean burritos from Taco Bell.
As Sonic who says, is a fine sun-aged burrito.
Yeah, and it probably was a bacteria nest.
And it is a bacteria nest.
It's probably true, but I never got sick. But anyway. There's a final story. So,
but thank you guys so much for being here. This has been lovely. Check us out on Blue Sky, like we said, DragonQuest.fm and Patreon.com/DragonQuestFM, and we will talk to you not tomorrow,
next week.
maybe next week.
Probably. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.